Hello world, it is I, CHIMA, back at it again today with the hero debriefs. So, well, so essentially when it comes to today's debriefs, I want to talk about something really that I think has been a really fun evolution for me, and that's essentially like, well, I say that, but then I start thinking of like, oh, character design. That's not what I'm talking about. I think I could probably go through personas at one point, but not now. Now is horror. Okay, so I think I have like this like I love horror. I love horror content. I love horror media. I love watching horror gameplay videos. I love it all. I love it. But here's the thing, right? So, okay, let me start from the beginning. So, ever since I was young, I remember watching stuff like, oh, like Friday the 13th and like Chucky and like all those things. Oh, I remember being so scared of Chucky when I was little. He used to give me nightmares. Oh gosh, and I hated. Oh my gosh, I have a story about that actually. Where this actually didn't happen too long ago. Where my sister, I was living with her for a while, and she she bought this like Chucky, this really crude, really like derpy looking Chucky statue, and it was like a piggy bank, and it was like a I don't know how to describe how tall it is because I don't actually know measurements, but it was essentially, I would say like a foot or two tall. It was pretty tall, and I was like, wow, that thing freaked me out. I hated seeing it. I hated it existing in the same presence as me. I remember one time I was coming downstairs and it actually scared like the bejeebus out of me, and I was like, oh, I don't like it. But yeah, I remember watching Chucky. I remember watching Jeepers Creepers. Oh my gosh, Jeepers Creepers was another one that like horrified me as a kid. And I remember the Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? And then it goes like the end scene where it like shows the dude without his eyeballs. I remember that like scarring me. I was really scared. But yeah, when I was younger, I used to love that kind of like slasher horror. Like it was fun. It was it was really fun, entertaining. And I think one of the horror like kind of like movies that I saw that really like that really like connected with me, and not even just me. I think I would deem this movie very specifically my family's movie. Because I love this movie. My sister loves this movie. My older brother loves this movie. My younger brother loves this movie. My mom even has like merchandise of the movie because my sister bought it for her. It's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That movie is so campy and so fun, and it's like, I really like that movie. But essentially, divulging more into horror, I've always liked horror as a kid. For better or for worse, I used to be really into creepypastas. I was that fangirl who was like, oh my gosh, Eyeless Jack is so handsome with the way he eats the livers. He eats people's kidneys. It's just goofy stuff like that. I used to really be into creepypastas. I think one of my favorite creepypastas of all time when I was younger was 1999. I really liked that creepypasta a lot, and it scared me. But the funny thing is, I actually don't remember anything about it. I don't remember what it was about, but I remember it like, what's the term? I remember it just like, I got so scared of it. Like it was really scary at the time back then. So oh my gosh. But we should not talk about how it's only when you're older that you realize Jeff the Killer was such a terrible wish. It was a terrible creepypasta. That Sonic.exe was a terrible creepypasta. It was, you wanna know what a revelation I had when I was older? Is that Ben Drowned was a whole ARG. I had no idea. It wasn't until, I think it was like I saw a Nightmind video where he was talking about it and like the Boone Children, and I'm like, I had no idea it was an ARG. Wow. What else? There's one, actually, it was one creepypasta that I remember that freaked me out just because of the imagery, the image of the like Happy Appy, where it's like a clay apple and it kills people. Woo. I don't know why the image of it scared me. And then I remember when Pizza Tower came out, and I'm like, oh my god, the pepper looks like Happy Happy. That's so freaky. My gosh, I don't know. It's so fun reminiscing on these old creepypastas and stuff like that, because it's like those actually used to scare me as a kid, but I still liked reading them. I still like listening to them. I don't listen to them much anymore these days though, so yeah. My younger brother's been recommending some to me. I don't remember one of them, but he recommended one called Pen Pal, and I haven't read it. And there's another one that he really liked, and he's like, you need to check this out, and I'm like, okay, and then I never did. Man, old creepypasta culture was crazy. Oh, you want to know what other creepypasta that I really liked? I liked all the Pokemon ones, like the Lost on like Mount Silver or something like that, or like Lost Silver. Like the Lost Silver, like the video, that one scared me when I was younger, watching the video gameplay of that one. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Now I'm just reminiscing on like all the old gameplay videos I used to watch of like EXE games. Mainly from like Luigi Kid, who I'm pretty sure still plays EXE games. Like he's pretty much like the poster child for EXE games. Oh, and he also held like two, I think it was two, I don't know how many, EXE, like, what are they called? Game jams or like challenges or competitions? I don't know. Oh man. But okay, so I think the to get past all the creepypasta talk. Oh, actually no, wait. Slenderman is such a fun like character, like in my mind. Like it's kind of sad how he's fallen out of relevancy when he used to be like so prominent, and it's like, oh, there was like marble hornets and stuff like that. Oh, it's so okay. Anyways, moving past, because then I'm gonna this is gonna turn into like a horror debrief into like a creepypasta debrief. Okay, so essentially the point I'm trying to make right now is that like I really like horror, but the thing is, when it comes to horror, is something that I kind of realize is that here's the thing. The older I got, the more I kind of got like, what's the term, like desensitized, I guess, to like big budget like horror movies and stuff like that. So like when any new horror movie comes out these days, I'm kind of just like rolling my eyes like, oh, like this is so lame, like this is so dumb, like I'm not gonna give it any attention. I know there's some really good ones though, but I don't know, I just I can't bother with it. I don't like any horror, or I don't find any horror that comes out from like, you know, like what's that one called, you know, like the killer doll, and then there was one with like there's all those paranormal activities, and I'm like, nah, that wasn't my cup of tea, and I didn't really care for it. Sure, I got scared because, you know, jump scares are scary, but like otherwise I was like, I don't care for it. And I still hold true to that. I don't really care about horror movies coming out, and I think it's But you know what I do care about? Online horror. I eat that up. I eat up online analog. Oh my gosh, I love analog horror. I actually have a friend who we used to like share analog horror series with each other, and we're just like, it's so fun, it's so fun. Like we love analog horror. But funny thing is like his favorite's like Petscop. He loves that, and I'm just like I got bored of it. I tried watching it, and then I got bored, and I'm like, okay, I'll just leave it in the corner. And he gets really sad when I say that. I don't know, I just go, I don't, that's my bad. I think the first couple episodes are interesting, but then I just like, yeah, I guess my brain too small to be interested. I saw the Pyrocynical video though, that was fun. But no, I think one of my favorite analog horror series is Walton Files. I love the Walton Files so much. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I was crying and I remember there was like every now and again before like the most recent episode came out, I'd check his Twitter now and again. I know he doesn't use it, but I would check it every now and again, like thinking, oh, maybe he says like one little thing, you know, and then checking the YouTube channel, and I was like, because I really love his series. It's really good and it's really great, and I think he's an amazing storyteller. And I think I think what he's creating right now with the Walton Files, honestly, it feels less like an analog horror series and more like kind of like just like an horror like showcase, like a horror series show. I don't know. It's really good. It's really good. I love the Walton Files. I really liked the Mandela catalog, but I hadn't been like kept up with that one. I saw the, what's it called? I saw The Oldest View. That one was really good. It was and then there's like a couple other like analog horror series that I either kind of like watch now and again, or I kind of like watch videos on. Because truth be told, I'm actually kind of a not kind of, but a lot of like a big cat, you know. I'm a little cat, a big old cat when it comes to horror. Here's the thing about me, right? I feel embarrassed admitting this because I don't know. I feel like it's so childish to be like, I get nightmares watching the horror content, but it's true. I remember when I first saw like the Walton Files, like the bunny farm, I had nightmares for weeks because of it. And I'm not gonna go too into depth with this like section, but I have really bad paranoia, and so even though it's not real, I know it's not real, I still get scared that it exists. I know that's bizarre, and I know that's crazy, and I know I sound like a lunatic saying that, but in my defense, I'm also not alone in that. I had a conversation with my mom once while she was in the living room, like rewatching, or not rewatching, I think she was watching like the newest Jeepers Creepers movie that had come out, and I was talking to her, and she was like, you know, your dad used to be really scared that Jeepers Creepers exist. The Jeepers Creepers existed, and he was gonna come after him, and that he couldn't even leave the house because of it. Me and my dad, we were one and the same. Even though, because again, I know it doesn't exist, but I think it's just like my brain just kind of goes like overactive, and it doesn't help watching the horror stuff. Because I'll be washing dishes, I'll see something in the corner of my eye, and I'll freak out. It's silly. I know it's silly, but that's why I don't watch a lot of horror content. But another thing, right, is like I really like horror gameplays. Like I like watching horror gameplay videos. Like those, I have such a distinct memory of like being in like being younger and getting a bag of like Takis. A cold cup of water, some Takis, and laying in bed watching Manly Badass Hero play that nameless DS game. Oh my gosh. And he's also just generally the person I watch when it comes to horror stuff. Like he's super, like, here's the thing, right? Is like, I feel like he's engaging and he's interesting, and he aims to show like pretty much everything that a game can offer, you know? It's always interesting and engaging and nice, and like I like it. I like Manly Badass Hero. I've been watching him since he released the IB video, because I saw his video on IB. I thought it was interesting, and then I wanted to play it myself, so I stopped watching, and then I played the game, and then I got stuck. So I watched his video to see like how to get the good ending. I didn't want the bad ending, I wanted the good ending, so I watched his video. And yeah, and I've been watching him since. Also, fun fact, I don't think it was him actually, but Markiplier, who got me into probably one of my all-time favorite RPG Maker games, and that's Off. Oh my gosh, that game. Maybe I'll talk about it on another day when I talk about like all of my favorite games, but for now, yeah. I just really like a good horror series. I like good horror. It's just so good. It's so good. I like it. I like horror. I like horror. I like the there's that one guy, I think on Instagram, who makes like horror creatures and stuff like that. I love that. Backrooms, love that. It's all amazing. I love horror, but I also like I get scared, and then I get nightmares watching horror, and I can't bring myself to play horror games. I get scared. And that's why when I played Indigo Park, I had to have my friend with me because I wanted to play it. It looked really fun, but I didn't do it alone. So I called him and I was like, "You want to watch me play the game?" And he's like, "Okay." It was nice having his support there, is what I'm trying to say. And fun fact, I was actually even me and my friend were even gonna like have a little like streaming party watching the newest Walton Files episode, but I got too I got too excited watching it, so I watched it in like the smallest screen I could. Oh, it's so good. That episode was so good. I don't know. I'm geeking on the Walton Files. Oh man, I love horror. Horror content's so fun. I think it's probably one of the most fun genres out there, because there's always something so fascinating about where you can drive horror from. You always have like the unconscious, the conscious, the tangible, the untangible. It's a whole thing. I love horror. I will say though, back on the creepypasta topic, oh man, that was such a crazy era, man, where you had people writing fanfics about, that reminds me of the girls who like tried to kill their friend for Slender Man. Like, does anyone remember that? I feel like a lot of people remember that, but that was a crazy case. Like, the girls were that delusional, thinking that it would happen. Like, huh? What? You're crazy. But I feel like at the same time, like, I kind of get it, because I was a dumb young kid, and I was like, wow, I wish I could be a proxy and be in the Slender Man house, and, you know, I could smooch the eyeless Jack. No, I'm kidding. The murder's not good, and it's terrible what they did to their friend. I feel like that's an obvious statement. Oh, actually, speaking on that, I heard about a case the other day about a guy who had, I'll say, I don't know how to do it. He like kinned Jeff the Killer, and the reason why I was like kind of like, you know, not sure how to say it is because I don't know how to describe kinned. Okay. I don't know how to describe that word to normal people, but I think he kinned Jeff the Killer, and then he killed his mom. Like, people are crazy. Like, actually crazy. Like, it's so wild. I think what I'm trying to say is that it's wild how like this media that was meant to like just entertain and spook people led to such like terrible things. Like, it's kind of insane. And then you grow up, and then you're like, the story that like scared you as a kid was literal dog. Is terrible and badly written, and yeah. But yeah, I guess with that being said, have a lovely day, night, or evening, fellow heroes. Remember to stay cool, hydrated. Still going strong in the heat, at least in my area. We got a bit of rain, and I was really happy about that, and then it left, and I was really sad again. But yeah, with that being said, adios, see you later, bye bye.